So, first of all, I would like to thank you for accepting this invitation. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for, it's like my pleasure to talk to you.
Okay. So, for the one who just let's try it directly. I'm a bit excited to talk about the movie with you. For the one who just discovered you for this interview, can you maybe introduce yourself?
Oh, yeah. So, my name's Angel Teng. I'm a Taiwanese filmmaker based in Taipei, and I have a background in psychology. And then I switched to filmmaking. I went to LA to study film directing at CalArts. And since then, I've made a series, the first season of Fragrance of the First Flower, and also my first feature film, A Balloon's Landing.
Hmm. You know, it's very funny because I have exactly the same path as you. I first started with
Oh,
psychology, then I went to
cool.
television broadcasting and cinema. It's not the usual path, I would say, so it's funny. Okay. And I would like to know why did you decide to work into the moving industry and directing in general, from psychology to more like movie making?
Yeah, it's actually so to be honest, I didn't grow up, having this clear idea that I want to be a director.
Mm-hmm.
But what I knew was that since I was a kid, I was like drawn to many different forms of art, and one of them was theater.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember I was like maybe around 7 years ago, 7 years old. I started going to the theater by myself and I was alone, but like I would watch a play. And when I got home, I just cannot stop thinking about it, like the story, the characters, and imagine what might happen next. So I would, continue writing like what the rest of the story could be. So I guess probably that's like the first time I start script writing without realizing I was doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, it began this journey, kind of like exploring different ways of storytelling. Because I can feel that I have this desire to create something that existed in my mind, very like emotionally. I have this desire, but I didn't know how. So I tried like a couple different things. Like I tried acting, writing fiction, writing stage plays, and eventually writing screenplays. But
Mm-hmm.
until that time, I still didn't know whether like directing would be an option for me or not because I didn't know. I didn't come from a film background, so I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know what directly really means. So it wasn't on my mind until my first screenplay that I wrote got produced.
Mm-hmm.
So I just asked them if I can join the crew and probably learn from it. And they said yes. So I end up being the script supervisor and assistant director for the film I wrote. And then so I work very closely with the director and I finally knew like what the film gets made and what director actually does. So I realized, it's like very, very challenging job, but also very fascinating because you have to have this very clear vision and kind of like put all these different elements together and turn them into one emotional experience for the audience. And I thought, that's actually pretty close to my original voice, and that's what I've been looking for all along. And so that's the moment I decide to pursue directing.
And I'm a bit curious about, do you have like any favorite director, favorite movie maybe that inspired you?
There are a lot, and then if I can only name one, I would say one film that has stayed with me for a very long time is The Piano by Jane Campion. Um, yeah, and then because I first saw it when I was very young, so to be honest, I don't think I fully get the whole picture of it, but I remember the feeling, just like it felt so poetic and beautiful, but also very shocking and unsettling at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember thinking, how is that possible? Like, how can a film create such a rich and complicated emotional experience for audience? So I feel like just like a magic. So I really admire Jane Campion's work. I think this like so many hidden language of cinema that she's keep like exploring, like the silence, or a piece of music or a gesture, a look, and can tell us a lot more than dialogue.
And more recently, another one, for example, if you went to festivals or if you had any opportunity recently to another movie, for example, do you have any recommendation on one that marked you a lot those recent maybe weeks, months, or maybe year? Another one?
Another one this year. Maybe I would say a film I watched this year I really like is Sorry Baby. It's not like released in Taiwan, but I watched on airplane. A friend of mine recommended me,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think it's really close to me, kind of like a character driven story that inspired me, and kind of like how people can change going through different stage of time, facing challenges.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And maybe something I'm a bit interesting also is if you could right now describe maybe your style or what you want to do right now as a filmmaker. What do you want to bring? I would say because most of the time I know it's very difficult to define it, but most of the time when you look back, maybe a few years later, you will say, "Oh, I changed. At the time, I thought like this. Now I'm a bit different." So I'm a bit curious about that.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I'm not quite sure if it's fair to, say that by myself, but I think what I've been doing is trying to capture and explore the complexities of being human and human relationships because I'm really interested in kind of like, maybe a bit like general questions about love and relationship and also how human relationship change over time. Because sometimes like how people bond together and sometimes drift apart and how they find their way back to each other. And I find it very fascinating. And I think my psychology background also has a lot to do with that because I'm really curious about like, individually how people like what people really want
Mm-hmm.
and what kind of like prevents them from getting it even though they desire for it and like why we make certain choices and how we kind of make sense of ourselves as being and how like and our lives as well. So I think kind of like exploring these questions in life and I kind of like put that in my work.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's it for the introduction side. Now I would like to talk about the main topic that is a balloon landing. Actually, I was very late compared to other people to watch it. I only had a chance now this year to watch it. And I'm a bit curious about this movie and I wanted maybe first for the one who haven't watched it yet. Can you describe it with your own words?
Okay. So, A Balloon's Landing, it's a film about loneliness and connection and hope,
Mm-hmm.
actually. So it's about the story follows two young men, and one of them is Tian Yu. He's a successful writer from Hong Kong, but he's kind of like feels adrift in life, and keep like hoping to escape from his like current life. And the other guy is Ashan. He's a free spirit, but simple-hearted gangster from Taipei. And when they meet by chance, they embark on a journey across Taiwan uh, in search for this mysterious place called the Bay of Vanishing Whales. And along the way, they kind of like help each other heal the past and discover a new sense of belonging.
Mm-hmm. And I'm a bit curious about the title. Why this title? Is it like I didn't check in actually in Chinese how is the title if there is a difference. Actually I didn't check.
Yeah, the title actually we talk a lot about it. So the original title, because I wasn't the original writer for the story, the original title in Chinese is like the Bay of Vanishing Whales, which is like the
Mm-hmm.
name of the
Mm-hmm.
bay. And then the exact producer, and I think because in Chinese, the bay, I mean, the title sounds like a novel or a fiction. It's not like a film. So we will like come up with some other options. And actually, in Chinese title, it's kind of called like "I'm here waiting for you." So
Okay.
it's I didn't want to spoil it, but it's like the message like in one of the very important prop in the film. So we use that as the Chinese title. And for the English title, for me, I kind of like hesitate to, just like directly translate the Chinese to English.
Mm-hmm.
And also, because the song we used from Leslie Zhang, the original title for that song is called A Balloon's Journey.
Okay.
So my original idea is to call that A Balloon's Journey because I feel that both of them, Tianyu and Axiang, they feel like floating and drifting in life. So they are just like hope to land somewhere. Like it means like about their journey and finding
Mm-hmm.
each other. But it turns out like we could not use the title of the song, so I have to change it a little bit. So as I described, I hope they can land somewhere and finally find peace in their heart. So I just changed it, or maybe let's call it a blues landing.
Okay. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Actually, later on, I wanted to ask you some fun facts, but you already gave me some fun facts, so thank you. No, because maybe as an international audience, maybe we might not catch this kind of information. Though. This is why I'm very happy about this fun fact. And about this movie, why did you decided to take this project, this movie?
Yeah, so as I said, I wasn't the original writer for this film, but at
Mm-hmm.
the time I already made my first series. So I was thinking for my first feature, should I do my original work or other like maybe I can direct some other people's script?
Mm-hmm.
And then at that time, the exec producer he was looking for a director for this project, and he saw my previous work and sent me the script, asked if I'm interested. And then I remember when I saw the script, the emotional core of the film really resonated with me. I think there's something very, I don't know, very simple and sincere about it. I found very rare and precious because I feel like nowadays we are so used to getting things instantly, like getting answers, response, with AI or get delivery. Like everything is like running so fast. But I think the film is really talking about having faith in something you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you it might be a little bit silly, but you don't know what you are hoping for is ever going to happen or where the path is leading to. But you kind of have like trust your gut and you keep moving forward and holding on to the little like the little bit of hope. And I think that's very inspiring and encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
So and also I think I believe like in life sometimes small encounters can totally change the direction of one's life, and it's also what the story is telling about. So yeah, so that's why I decided, so okay, I want to try, I mean, I will try to tell the story as my first feature film.
Okay, and I'm curious to know from the first draft you received, the script when you receive it to the final project, how much time did it take? Did you have also to talk with it was the producer who gave you the script, right?
Yeah, it was the producer gig.
So did you had to maybe exchange with them? Did you had to maybe see how to adapt if you had like different point of views or this kind of thing? Did it take more time maybe?
Yeah, so at the beginning when I decided to take this job, because I didn't work with writers before as a director, and that's one of like one experience I'd like to have and kind of learn from it. But the exec producer kind of like, I mean, maybe like trust me very much. So I only talk once with the original writers, and
Okay.
they are from Hong Kong. And then they say, since the film is like for me to direct, and I'm in Taiwan, and because most of the film will be shot in Taiwan, so they just give me the space and the freedom to rewrite. But the total actually, when I was on board as director to the final release, it took about 2 years.
Okay.
But the initial phase like moved very fast because I got the script, and then I after I say yes, I have to rewrite and do the pre-production simultaneously within 2 months, and we have to shoot
Okay.
it. So, but so it's funny because yeah, and then after we wrapped, just like during the editing process, we just realized, oh, actually, there are a couple things that were not like quite working the way we wanted.
Mhm.
For example, so initially we shot everything in Taiwan, including those like Hong Kong parts, and because of that limitation, when I was rewriting it, I also like kind of remove many of the Hong Kong parts if we couldn't do that in Taiwan. But it turns out like when we edit together, it because the core of the film is really about the time and the space, the gap between these two places, and also the distance between them. Uh, so I think that's really the important core of the film, and then it really matters to the story. So and then so first, like initially we shot in summer of 2022. And then in early 2023, we went to Hong Kong to do some additional shooting. And then after that, we took another year to edit and for the post and finally release in 2024.
So when you said the pre-production was 2 months, in the pre-production, there's also the casting, the location, the funny location, and everything.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, yeah. I just got the script and I was absolutely like right away.
That's it, especially for the casting, because I know it can take a lot of time depending if you can find. Sometimes the actor will just like jump out of nowhere and you say, oh, this is him. But sometimes it will take you like weeks to find the right person. So I know this is 2 months and the final location also, and the rewriting and everything. 2 months since.
Yeah. So I think I would say we are pretty lucky because I mean the characters like we can work with Terrance and Fandy. We are like so lucky because I mean especially for this film like the character really mattered to how the film will finally be felt and look like. And then when I first read the script, actually I have seen Terrance and Fandy's their previous work, and I just immediately see them in these roles when I was reading. So I talked to the exec producer and he has the same idea as me. So they are our first options. But like so, like our schedule was very tight. So even though we talked to them and then it was like very, very smooth, like in terms of our conversation. But for the scheduling, there was a period like it looked like Terrence couldn't make it to play Tian Yu because like his scheduling. So we did talk about other options, but as director, I still kept thinking, oh, I really want to work with two of them. And thankfully, like in the end, we did because like for other films, they kind of like push off. So Terrence can work with us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's also a very fun thing that I was like pre-production and rewriting at the same time because I got to know them better at the time and I was rewriting. So I kind
Mm-hmm.
of like naturally brought some of their energy and their qualities into the characters.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It's very funny because actually last year I was at the Shanghai Film Festival and I saw Terrence Low. He was presenting another movie that was the lead she wrote at the time. And then I decided to get interested in him and then I fall into the rabbit hole on his, like, all the movie he did. And then I found the balloon landing, even though my audience already recommended to me like a while ago,
Oh,
already
thank you.
told me to watch it. So I feel everything is a bit linked. So I guess casting the actors was pretty smooth, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And for the day, how many days of filming did it take for the movie?
In Taiwan, we shot around 33 days,
Okay,
and then we did another like additional shooting in Hong Kong for 3 days.
okay. And I'm curious to know. You already started to give me some fun fact, but I wanted to know if you had like any fun fact about the movie, something
Mm,
maybe that we might not know as an international audience or as an audience in general.
yeah, yeah. So I'm still not sure if this counts as fun fact or not because when I like look back, it still feels a little bit scary to me. So the truth is that both of our actors, they got injured during filming. And so Terrance, he got injured at the bay, like at the fake bay. He kind of like stand on a higher rocks. And
Mm-hmm.
before the shoot, our crew had already checked the area, and we walk over and over again and to make sure it's stable. But somehow during the official filming, when Terrance stepped onto like one of the higher rocks, um, like it just cracked underneath him. So
Mm-hmm.
he slipped and fell and then hurt himself. So we brought him to the emergency room immediately. And for Fandy, there was a scene when they first met in Taipei. So
Mm-hmm.
Ashan was trying to stop Tianyu from leaving out of like from his room. So he like pushed his hand, like he just put his hand on the door, and the door is made of glass, and the glass just shattered. And so yeah, it's like we didn't know that the door would shatter the glass
Break
of
so
it. So
easily. Mm-hmm.
I know. And then so he also got injured, and we sent him to emergency room too. And so by far all this sound very scary, but the fun fact happened during the post production, because both of them had to have the tape and bandage on them. And then for Terrance, it's like on his face, like right on his chin. And so we have like a day off after he got injured, and the next scene we were going to shoot is the train sequence, and it's the final ending, like it's the ending of the film, so it's very emotional, and there are a lot of like important close-up shots of him. So, but he has this like medical tape on his screen for all time, but we had to film it. So eventually we had to remove the tape with visual effects shot by shot. So I
Mm-hmm.
remember during the post, I kept receiving a lot of like Terrance close shots, and I spent amount of time checking if his chin looked like a normal chin or not. So I just staring his chin for a very long time. And for Fendi, he had the bandage on his hands, and then we also had to remove like those bandage, but they were just like too many shots and like beyond our budget. So I remember there a sequence of they riding the bicycle in south of Taiwan in Kending, and it's a very intimate moment, like Tianyu hugging from behind, but we can see clearly Ashan's bandage on his hands. So I feel so bad because I think, oh, it's a so romantic moment. But after the film was released, some of the audience, they noticed that, and they told me actually it looks pretty fine to them, because they think Ashan is a gangster anyway, so he would have some bandage or wood on his. So
Mm-hmm.
actually, like only me really care about that. Yeah.
It's okay. So it turned out well in the end, even though there were some problems.
Yeah, yeah. So I think sometimes director really need to be convinced in a way.
And I'm also curious to know if, apart from this, if you had like any challenges during the making, maybe, or anything that was very difficult to make, maybe.
I think the whole filming, because it's a road trip film, so we have a lot of locations, and like many of them were still like we didn't use that in the final film, so they were like a lot more. And we filmed it in summer of Taiwan, so it's like pretty warm, and
Mm-hmm.
we are like shooting outdoors, and also our like characters got injured, and and I remember actually one of the most challenging sequence is the fireworks festival
Mm-hmm.
sequence, because in the film it looks uh like a real, like, I mean, I hope it looks like a real, like a big festival full with like people and activities. But actually the real location we filmed is just an empty beach without light, without anything. It's all dark. So we had to like our production designer and our department, they have to build everything from scratch, and also for the lighting, like everything. And we have like over 100 extras, and then also the performers, like everything. And it's a night scene. So we have to make sure we check time constantly, just in case the sound will go up
Hmm.
before we finish everything. So it was very intense. But it's also pretty fun. And then we kind of like got what we want. Yeah.
And do you have like any favorite scene if you had to choose one that you really, really like?
Uh, I think there was a scene I felt really, really touched when I filmed it. It's the moment when Tianyu found out like Ah Xiang seems to lying to him that that's the fake Bei, and he doesn't want to go with him anymore. He wants to just like by his own walk away. But that's the moment when Ah Xiang starts to tell him about the legend of the Bay of the Vanishing Wells, and something start to shift at the time. And then I think what I love the most about this scene is not really about whether what he's telling is true or not, whether the place is real or not. I think I was touched because it's about um, what you really believe in and
Hmm.
what keeps you safe. Because I think sometimes personally I will have this romantic belief that I think many encounters or connections in this life are actually reunions. So like when you meet someone, yeah, but when you meet someone, you feel like strangely familiar, and you kind of like you have known each other before. So I think there must be some, signals or secret passwords we can exchange and recognize each other in this lifetime. So the
Hmm.
moment kind of like reminds me of that. So it's really, I think, really touched me in a way. It's close to my own like worldview.
Okay. And finally, maybe one of last question about landing is how do you hope the audience will react to it for the one who haven't watched it yet, for example?
Yeah, okay. It's always a difficult question to answer because
I know.
of course, it's not like my place to decide what you should feel or react. Um, yeah, I really want to leave the space for the audience, but if I can just point out one thing, I would say maybe a sense of warmth and hope. Because that's actually one of the reasons why I create, why I make work, because I mean, I just hope there will be a little bit more, like kindness or empathy or something like positive
Mhm.
that moves through the world. And if my work can just contribute a tiny bit to that, and I would be very grateful.
Okay. I think that's pretty much it. Do you want to add anything about a balloon landing?
No, I think
So then we can go to the future project side. I'm a bit curious to know if currently maybe you are preparing a new project you're excited about or anything.
Yeah, so I'm working on a new feature film project, and then it's a soft sci-fi love story about an older lesbian couple.
Okay.
So in this world, with the advance of biotech, so people can stay physically young, but they still have to face the challenges of illness and mortality. So I was thinking to explore through this project is that if we can preserve the youth, can we also preserve love
Mm-hmm.
and what remains of love after time passes? Because I think I've always um, fascinated by long-lasting love. I think it's very beautiful because I don't think commitment is a one-time thing. It's like about choosing the same person over and over again
Mm-hmm.
throughout different stages of life. And I found it like really, really beautiful. Uh, but at the same time, I'm also someone who like tend to love very deeply and feel attached. Uh, and cannot let go. So I think, but it's also like there's always an end of everything of our life, of any relationship. So I was just thinking, if it's the time when we really have to let go of someone we love, is there any way to preserve that love without refusing to let go? So I kind of like exploring this question for my own life and kind of like, turn that into the ideas for this project.
Mhm. So now you are in the pre-production side, right? You are preparing. It's not starting shooting or anything,
Not
right?
shooting yet. Yeah, we are like in the development phase.
Okay, very good. And do you have like in the future, for example, do you have like any other genre you would like to maybe take, or yeah, are you interested into any genre?
I think maybe not like new genre. So I'm kind of like just like I'm really curious about human relationships and
Mm-hmm.
love, and also I think probably because I mean before I took um the director job for A Bloom's Landing, I didn't think I would like really into like soft sci-fi or fantasy genre, but now it kind of opened up my thinking because it really allowed me to explore these philosophical and emotional questions through imagination, and that's actually something I'm really curious about. So I think I can kind of like combine that into like my work. So maybe like romance and sci-fi fantasy. Yeah.
So I'm also curious about something because you also worked on series in the past. Do you prefer? I guess maybe we all have like something we prefer. Do you prefer to work on series or do you prefer to work on movies?
It's so funny because it was not my plan to make a series right after graduation, because I went to Arts, and what we have been training is to maybe like make a short film or make a feature film. I didn't uh, know, or I didn't like uh, have this training to make a series,
Mm-hmm.
but it just happened like by chance, because when I was in LA, I had a internship with Kathleen Hardwick, and so I was working with her for her series project, and it was like like a tiny a mini series, like each episode only like 15 minutes. So I read many scripts in that format. So I kind of, oh, actually, it's like a couple short films, but the story, the emotional arc is kind of like ongoing. So so after my graduation, because the COVID just like outbreak,
Mm-hmm.
like the year of 2022, 2020. So I went back to my home in Taiwan, and I got this chance to pitch an idea for a series. So I think, oh, maybe I could turn one of my, feature film idea to a series format. So I tried that, and I was so lucky to get the chance to, to make it. So that's kind of like why. And for the future, I think I don't really limit myself into one medium or another, like a one format.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's really about the story I'm exploring, because sometimes I really like the subtlety, nuance of the cinema, and but I know that language doesn't really fit the audience, and also the storytelling of the series side.
Mm-hmm.
But also I also want to reach more of the audience, and the for series they will be more accessible for most people, so I don't really limit it myself. So I would really see what kind of story and what kind of like feeling I want to create.
I'm a bit curious also about something I always like to ask this question. Do you have like any maybe Taiwanese artist director that you would like to recommend for our audience who is just starting to get to know more about Taiwanese dramas, Taiwanese movies?
Mm. Yeah, I want to recommend a lot. Of
Mm,
course, I hope
go
like
ahead.
more, more and more Taiwanese filmmakers can be noticed. But maybe I will like say, because I noticed like two of my favorite films that I just watched in this year from Taiwan. They are available now on Netflix. So, and then one is a Foggy Tale. It's by a very experienced Taiwanese filmmaker Chen Yuxun, and the other one is Double Happiness by Joseph Chen Juexu.
Oh, a Foggy
You
Tale.
know that?
I want to watch it. I saw some like articles about it because I so these days I'm a bit checking for 2026 all the movies I want to watch, and I saw a lot of good things about this one. And I keep seeing also because also I'm on Xiaohongshu, and on Xiaohongshu a lot of publicity about this movie as well. So I keep like, okay, this is my sign. I will have to.
Yeah.
Okay, I will add them on my list. Good.
Yeah.
You are adding movies on my list, but it's okay.
Yeah.
And maybe do you have like other directors that you think that are too underrated maybe and they should get more recognition? Go ahead. You can, even if you have an Excel sheet, you can give it to me.
Oh, yeah, maybe I would. Yeah, because I kind of like afraid I would like miss someone. Just, if I name a few, but I didn't name some others. So maybe I will leave that, for, yeah.
Okay. I think that's pretty much it for the interview. Do you have like maybe any final words for the listeners?
Yeah, so I mean, first of all, I want to thank you for having me here. Yeah, and then for the listeners, if if some listeners who have already watched my film, I really want to say like thank you for your support because I have been receiving like very, very touching messages and like letters from the audience, and they just remind me why I choose to create and then always keep me just like motivated to create more. So I really appreciate. And also for listeners who haven't seen any of my films, but stay here and listen to this episode. I'm very grateful you taking this time to learn about my journey and my work. And then I think just like maybe sometimes I feel just like it's amazing, like through storytelling we can connect with many people that we haven't met or we may not like meet like in life, but we kind of like share this connection that we through a story or through a film, like we know that, oh, actually we are not alone, that someone also feel the same thing we have felt or ask the same questions we have been asking. So yeah, I just really love this like connection across time and distance, distance to storytelling.
And I just have a question because I just realized I thought my previous ideas was that also the balloon's landing was on Gaga Olala. I thought it was, but actually it's not. I thought it was.
Maybe not because it's like the ex producer side, but to what I know, it's worldwide available on Netflix.
Netflix.
So maybe that's why. Yeah, so maybe that's why it's not on Gaga Ulala. Yeah.
I don't know why I was sure it was also on both platforms. Okay. And do you plan maybe a question like this? Do you plan maybe one day to, because I know Gaga Olala also likes to work with outside directors and collaborate. Do you think that is something maybe that could happen in the future or you would be interested in?
Oh, I don't know if you know that my first series was working with Gaga Ulala.
Oh, was it?
Like a fragrance of the first flower. So like the pitching competition that I mentioned, like right after my graduation was held by Gaga Ulala and Taika, like Taiwan's government. So yeah, I mean it. Yeah, I was so lucky to have the chance to work with them as my first like work.
Oh, because I'm talking about Gaga Olala because this month for the Prime Month I'm collaborating with them for the Prime Month and everything.
Yeah,
so.
I saw the post and story.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Thank you for making the movie. I really liked it. I also, apart from the stories and everything, I really like the visual aspect. A lot of people also came back to me and said, visually, it's so beautiful. This is something that came back a lot with my followers. They told me a lot that, wow, visually, this is true. This is very eye-pleasing visually.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like like when we released the film at the beginning in 2022, the reception was not that, positive.
Okay.
So also I was like, yeah, like kind of like a little bit questioning about myself as a filmmaker or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, kind of like, yeah. So I mean, I really appreciate like any, the feedback from the audience.
And also, I think this kind of movie is good to watch it maybe in theater more than on Netflix, because on theater, I think maybe especially for the visual aspect, I think in theater it must be very eye pleasing with big screens and everything. I think it might be very good on theater.
Yeah, it's interesting because I don't know if you know like this information, like it's still in theater in Japan.
Really?
It's like, yeah,
Okay.
it's it's like after we like went on like release on like Netflix, so it's worldwide, everyone can watch it. But I think a group of fans sorry, not Taiwan, in Japan, they want to see this film in cinema. So there's a Japanese distributor kind of like bought from the company and then just do some like small scale of theater screening, but then it has been ongoing for a year. Like it's still in theater in Japan. So I know. I really, yeah. I just like it's. It's like, well, it's something you would never expected, but yeah.
It's good. It's good to have like fans like this who can actively make it. This is good actually.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, this is maybe one regret I have is not be able to see it on theater, because I think the visual experience might be very different from Netflix. Most of the time it's like this with movie, but this one I really like the aesthetic in general, color grading, everything. Very good. I really loved it.
Thank you for your kind words.
I think that's pretty much it for the interview. I want to thank you again for accepting the invitation, for talking about the movie, for the fun facts also. I learn a bit more, and I think my audience also will be happy, especially for one who already watch it, to see this interview. They may say, "Oh, this is why the title is this way. This is why this that." So thank you for taking the time to answering my question.
Thank you.